We are halfway through the week and hanging out together. Thanks so much for joining us on MLB Central. I'm Lauren Shahadi with Mark DeRosa and Robert Flores. We're going to chat with Ken Rosenthal, our insider, coming up. Also, we're going to answer some of your fan questions, some viewer questions coming up. So stay tuned for all of that. You ready? You were ready yesterday when you took on Blake Snell and MLB The Show. Yes? Almost beat him too, I heard.
Yeah, it was very disappointing, Lauren. DeRo, it's good to see you as well. So Blake Snell and I played. MLB Network has a new Twitch channel, which we debuted yesterday with a stream against Blake Snell. The highlights, I tie it with Mike Trout with a 2-run homer in the 9th. He wins it with Gary Sheffield going deep in extra innings. But the difference proves to be earlier in the game with Blake Snell's digital version. I'm Corey Kluber on the mound, and Blake Snell, who was 0 for 8 lifetime as a hitter and
Power hitter,
goes deep on a 3-1 changeup.
Come on.
Here.
Really?
Unbelievable.
You talk trash?
Oh, without a doubt, 100% he was talking trash, as he should. I mean, it was a great video game moment.
So are you considered good, like you big time?
No, I would say like I'm depending on the day, I'm either average to slightly above average. So
what's your big pitch?
Well, it depends on the pitcher. I mean, with Kluber, it's that he's got that sinker, that power sinker. And I just happened to throw a changeup that was below down in the zone, and he just golfed it for a 2-run homer. Hey, I want to bring in Ken Rosenthal, because clearly this is a time where many of us have questions. There's so much uncertainty floating around, and Ken Rosenthal is good to join us now. Ken, it's good to see you. Let me start with this one. What do you think, given what we know now, the likelihood that when baseball returns, it will be played in front of empty stadiums?
I would say that likelihood, Robert, is increasing based on everything we know right now. The president announcing restrictions will remain in place through April 30th. We know the CDC has recommended against gatherings of 50 people or more through May 10th. So when the sport comes back, yes, it will probably be after that. At this point, we know that. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that the crisis will be over. We know right now that New York is the epicenter, but it's moving to other cities and rapidly, and this thing might not end for quite some time. So at some point, baseball is going to face a decision. And the decision will be, do we prefer to play in empty parks or not at all? And my guess would be, and it's rather an educated guess, empty parks, because at least you could be on television, you can get your sport back into the public mainstream. So the agreement the players and owners reached last week, that accounts for this possibility. And it says the players and owners will discuss in good faith, if necessary, the economic feasibility of playing in the absence of spectators or at neutral sites. And again, it comes down to a zero-sum game. If it's this or that, and this has the ability to put baseball on, at least give it entertainment value to the public, and that is no baseball at all, well, we're all going to choose baseball in an empty park.
Yeah, I'm listening to Ken, DeRo, and thinking of the players. So many times when you tell Robert and I over the past years about your favorite moments in the game, it involves the fans. What would it be like to play with no fans in the stands?
You know, I think it would be difficult mentally to stay focused, but I think in today's trying times, I think guys would be used to it. You do it in spring training on backfields and B games. You do it in the Arizona Fall League when no one's there but your mom and dad and scouts. So guys would be used to it. I just think everything. I was listening to MLB Now with BK and Joel Sherman yesterday. I thought Joel had some great points. Being that there's going to be an asterisk on this season anyway, let's get super creative. Like if you're going to go with the empty stadiums, mic some of the players. It's a different generation of kid right now. They want to brand themselves. And I think a lot of them would be willing to wear mics, like some of them already done in spring training. Yeah. I think that would be super cool to kind of hear the banter during the game.
Ken, thank you so much for sorting all this out for us. We will continue to have questions for you in the coming weeks. And right now, our viewers have some questions for us. You ready to go? So from Dean24, which teams benefit most from the delayed start? I would imagine any team trying to get healthy, right, Ken?
Yes, the Yankees would be the most obvious because they had several players who were down or going to be down for the start of the season. But when we talk about these kinds of specific questions, we don't know when the season is going to start. So if it starts June 1st, it's different than July 1st, August 1st. We don't know what the schedule is going to look like, how compressed it will be, expanded playoffs, how many teams will be involved. So it's really difficult at this point to say which teams will benefit. But Lauren, you're absolutely right. It would stand to reason that the teams with players coming off injuries would be in the best position.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ken. I also think you could throw the Astros in there. I mean, Justin Verlander having surgery on his groin, and then he was also dealing with some arm problems as well. So DeRo, I mean, this just gives him more time to recover and be close to 100%. When the season comes back.
Yeah, I think for me, the only other team that I mean, you could probably throw them all in, but the Mets, I mean, if you can get a healthy Cespedes back in that lineup to go with Pete Alonso, I know in spring training he was taking BP but not running. The Yankees are the obvious answer, and interested to see the reaction to the Astros players, because coming out of spring training, they were concerned. I don't know if this is necessarily like squashes or maybe dumbs it down a little bit. I still think they get buried once the season starts, but maybe a little bit different.
There are no sports right now, but there are sports movies, and we told everyone our favorite baseball movie of all time the other day. Matt on Twitter wants to know, excluding baseball movies, what's your favorite sports movie of all time?
You know, I'm going to answer off the cuff. The first thing that hits me is Hoosiers with Dennis Hopper and Jimmy Chitwood. I mean, that was a movie for the ages for me.
Ken?
Well, The Athletic did this list the other day, the top 100 sports movies of all time, and Rocky was number one.
Ooh. Yeah.
Hard to go against The Rock. But for me, and I know this didn't do well on that list, and it's a little bit old, Chariots of Fire was an amazing movie about British Olympics way back.
Get him off.
That was a great movie, DeRo. Check it out. You got plenty of time. Stay off the TikTok and go watch Chariots of Fire.
That's a good
Robert?
I think Ken was right the first time. It's Rocky. I mean, with that training montage, and it's so good. Also, I would submit Karate Kid.
Remember the Titans? Nothing?
That's good.
Good
Thank you
really
very
good.
much.
Miracle's another one.
Those are all great. Hey, and like you said, Ken, we all have the time right now to take a deep dive into those.
Ro Flo, Slapshot's a classic.
Slapshot's another good one. Very good. Hey, Ken, we appreciate you joining us. Hey, and we appreciate you joining us, this digital version of MLB Central. We'll be back on Friday. We're going to be joined by Triple H, the Game of WWE, former WWE champion. They're having WrestleMania this weekend under very unusual circumstances, obviously. So we'll talk with Triple H on Friday, and we'll talk with you on Friday as well. Be safe, be happy, and I just want you to know, I continue to practice social distancing with my pants. See ya.